Back. So basically we are done with the FAQ section as well. Now there's only one last section left, footer. So let's go ahead and create the footer section. Now in this section we are going to have a simple footer with the same color as the header, and then we're going to have three sections. On the left side we'll have a section, on the right side we'll have a section, and then we will have a section in the center. Alright, let's go ahead and start coding. So let's just hide this. Perfect. And like header, for footer we have a specific tag for it, and then I don't want footer to go all the way across the edges, so I'm going to place a container in it, and then inside this container we're going to have three sections like I said. So the first section is going to be the left side, and then on the right side, and on the center. So let's just go ahead here and create class as equal to let's say text left. Right, text center, text right. I'm just doing this format because we can reuse it. I know this is the last section, but when we are doing it, do it right, so you can in the future, if you want to use this left alignment somewhere else, you can use it. So we'll design it as a general section. So we're gonna have a text left, where text align is equal to left. We're going to have the center right. So we have done those three. We have just generalized them, so we don't have to have it in the footer as such. Now here we're going to have a title, which is going to be an h4. We'll call it, on the left side we're going to have an address. Cool. Let's have two lines of address. Copy, paste. Let's call it I don't know, office number 100, building number 200, somewhere in the Middle Earth, with a PO box number of, I don't know, PO9, this one. Perfect. This is the first section. In the last section we similarly are going to have contact, where we're gonna have a phone number. Let's say his number is 000000000, and an email at email.com. Perfect. In the middle section I would like to have some social media icons for this dental hospital. So I'm gonna write follow us, just like a social media thing. So let's have 4 social media icons. So I am going to make it img. So let's have those icons first. So I am going to go to let's go to here. I'm going to create a new folder in the image folder, call it SM for social media, and I've downloaded a few icons. I'm just going to bring it here. So these are the 4 icons that we are going to be using. Perfect. All right, now I'm going to go here, and image source is equal to images. Inside I have social media, and I have got Insta. We start with Facebook dot what is it, svg. It's an svg. So we need to have a tag which is alt, and say Facebook icon for what is this, Facebook, not icon, Facebook link for Southern Dental. Perfect. So this is our one icon. We're gonna have 3 more icons. The second one is Instagram. Third one is Twitter. Fourth one is YouTube. So we've got 4 links over there, and we've got the contact. So basically the structure is ready. Let's just go ahead and try to see how it looks like. Oh, these icons are really big. Let's just get them sorted. You see, ideally when you do an image, you have to get the right size so that you don't have to get a big image and then resize using CSS. You should get the right size. For now, I'm just going to resize using CSS. So I'm going to say footer, and I at the maximum need my footer icons to be let's say actually it's better to give, since these are icons, it's better to give it a class called icon. All right, in the icon class I'm gonna have an image, and these images will have a width of maximum of 25 pixels. Perfect. So what I'm gonna do is that here let's give a class icon. Did it work? Icons. Yeah, it worked. So if I go ahead and zoom it a little bit, let's go to responsive and make it a little more zoomed in, so you see the icons. The other thing is that we want all these on the same line. Now it is going onto all three different lines, so let's go here and give it a empty flex class, which we have already done previously, so it will work perfect. Let's give it a background color. The footer requires to have a color, so we'll give the same color that we gave earlier for the nav. So I think it is this. Since we are not going to have any transparency, let's just give the hex code. We don't need to have a RGB or something. So we've got the footer colored. We've got I'm gonna make it smaller so you guys can see it properly. So we've got the footer colored, we've got all three sections. Now what we have to do next is basically let's put some color into it. Color. Perfect. Now we can see properly. I need some space between the heading and this one. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna call footer and h3. I think h3 or h4. What have I given? I've given h4. So let's have a margin bottom for h4s of, let's say, 2 rem. So it looks like, okay, this is great. I've got let's make it 1 rem. 2 is too much. So we gave some spacing there. Now I want all of this in I want this address on the left side, contact on the right side, and followers on the middle. So let's try to do that. So for that, what we have to do is that we have to give this media query. All right, so not 992, MD is basically 640. all right, so I'm going to just give a justify content property for this MD flex. So what it basically does is justify content and space between. So it will put equal amount of space between the left, right, and this one. So we've got that part sorted. Now we've got the link here, we've got the contact here. Nice. What I want to do next is I want this a little more spacing between these icons. All right, so let's just give some margin. So icons image, what we'll do is we'll give some margin on the right side. Margin on the right side, let's say give 1 rem each. That's nice. Now if we have noticed, what I've done is that if I inspect it, you can see that I have given a margin right. So you will see that there is a margin right for that as well. On the last element, technically we don't need to give that margin. So what I have to do is that in case if you want to do something like that, we're going to go to icons. All right, we are going to image. Actually in the icons we just let's do this last child. Margin right, unset. So if I selected that, I have a margin. If I select the last one, I still have a margin. Yeah, that is because if I have to do that, I think I have to give individually a class to all of these. So let's just avoid that for now. Leave it as it. Refresh. Perfect. Our footer is almost ready. I'd like to have some py given here, py5, so we have some spacing. Yeah, great. The next thing, the final thing that we have to do is that we have to give links to all of this. So basically we have to have a, this has to be linked to its correct things, right? So I'm just gonna have some anchor tags here. So all of these, social media icons becomes clickable. Yep, they are clickable now. So all these things are, when once you go live, you can just put the correct social media thing here. Now, I want this mobile and the email also to be clickable, so let's give some anchor tag to that also. So if you want to make a mobile number clickable, you have to give an anchor tag like this. So we will write tel basically means telephone number, and then we put the number over there. What this basically does is that this will immediately, when you click that, it has changed the color. So let's go ahead and give the a tag some coloring and remove those text decorations. Perfect. Now if I click this number, you see it will immediately make a call. This is very helpful, when people are on the mobile phone and let's say they are scrolling down and then they see some number, they want to immediately give a call. So for that it is really helpful. They can just click this and give a call. Same we have to do for email as well. Sorry, we just have to here for email we have to put a code of mail to and then put email ID here. What this will do is that when you click the link, it will immediately open the mail, whatever toolbox you have. ahref mail to, yeah, did I save it? I did. Yep, see, it immediately opens your mailbox and then you will be able to send an email. So that's great. Now the other thing that I want to do is that if all this text align, I want it only to happen on larger screen. You see, on the smaller screen I don't want it to happen. So I think what we will have to do in this case is we will remove these text right things and change it to I'm gonna make this as contact. I'm gonna call this social media SM. Perfect. I'm not going to have any class here. I'll tell you what is the problem. So this would work, but in our case we want this only on the larger screen. We want this to be aligned on the right only on the larger screen. So which basically means that this thing is going to be universal for all the screens. We don't want that. This one is going to be universal for all the screens. We don't want that. So instead we will do specifically for each of these. So we'll go into 640 and plus, and then we're gonna give social media text align right. Perfect. No, social media is actually center. For the contact, text align is right. Perfect. So we have got it on this iPad, it is correct. If I go to phone, it's all on the left side. Perfect. Now the other thing I want to do is that on a smaller screen I want to have some margin. See, when it comes one below the other, I'd like to have some margin. So what I'm going to do is let's put some margin top here. MT, I think it's 5. So we have put some margin top here. It looks okay. So even on this as well, so it's not looking that congested there. See, we've got margin top here. Perfect. And I would like to have some some styling for h4. So I'm gonna go to footer, h4, and I'm just gonna give maybe text decoration and underline. So it looks like a heading. Perfect. I like this. So we've got our footer ready. How does it look on a computer? Perfect. So basically we have just completed our website. We've got this one. I'd like to have, for the FAQ section, it looks like it's too close. Let's try to give the FAQ section py. So if I go back to the FAQ section, it doesn't have a py, that's why. So I'm going to give a py here of 5. Perfect. Now that looks okay. I think the same for the services also. Let's give a py so that we have some spacing at the end. Perfect. I like this. So basically we have completed our one page website.